We'll go ahead and get started. Just come into child's pose. Come down into child's pose on your mat and stretch it out. And once you get down into child's pose, go ahead and take 3 full breaths into your belly. Fill up your side ribs with air. And as you exhale, draw your tailbone down towards the heels of your feet if you can. Good. Now from here, go ahead and walk your hands over to one side and open up your side ribs. And just breathe into those side ribs. Nice full breaths. Good. Now walk your hands over to the other side. Same thing, three more full breaths into the side ribs as you stretch out through your fingertips. Good, now walking your hands back to center. And then from here, I'm going to remove my blanket. Go ahead and look towards your fingertips as you inhale to upward facing dog. So inhaling forward, stretching out the lower back. And then as you exhale, draw your navel in towards the spine and come all the way back. Inhaling forward on the knees. And then exhaling back and forth, flowing with the breath. Inhale and then exhale. Draw the navel to the spine as you come back. So really focus on your core center as you're moving in and out of these poses. Taking the navel to the spine as you exhale back, inhaling. Filling up the belly with air, exhaling, coming all the way back. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay with the breath, good. From here, we're going to hold this up dog, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Stay with the breath, fingers are spread wide, press into your thumb, your middle finger. Keep breathing. Curl your toes under, hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. From here, let's lift and lower onto the balls of the feet, working the calves and the ankles. Remember, have your fingers spread wide, press into your thumb, your middle finger. Anybody out there has wrist pain, you can always come down to your forearms and do it on your forearms. So just know that you can rearrange if you need to. Good, now from here, go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet, or your feet towards your hands. And let's forward fold. Grab the elbows and just hang here for a moment. So your feet are hip width apart. I'll turn this way so you can see me better. Feet are hip width apart. Spread your toes wide. Grab the elbows. Soften the neck. Soften your knees. And stay with your breath. Good. From here, push through the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Reach up through your fingertips. Hold it here. And then exhale, come into a standing twist. So you're reaching from front to back. I better move up a little. I'm hitting the wall. Reaching in opposite direction. And then a soft gaze over your back fingertips. Breathe here. The arms are nice and strong. The shoulders are softened down. Inhale, sweep the arms up to the sky. Exhale to the other side for your standing twist. Your hip points are still facing forward. Relax your shoulders down. 3 full breaths here. Good. Inhale the arms back up to center. And then from here, with the feet hip width apart, spread your toes wide. Exhale, come into Uttanasana pose. Holding your chair pose. Scoop your belly in. Plug your arms into your sockets. Lengthen out through your fingertips. Stay with your breath. Soften the neck in line with the spine here. Stay with the breath. Good, push through your feet. Inhale, come up. Exhale, the arms down. Inhale, sweep your arms up, come back into chair. Nice warming pose. This should get your muscles all warmed up. Sit into the heels of your feet. Maybe even peel your toes up. Stay with your breath. Now from here, we're going to forward fold. Breathe here for a moment. Go ahead and grab those elbows again and just let the head relax. Nice full breath into the pose. Good. From here, inhale, sweep the arms all the way back up. And then exhale, this time bending into the knees, come down towards a squatting position as you wrap your arms around the back of your knees and then straighten the knees back up. Then back into your knees, press through your feet. Find that grounding in your feet as you push yourself up. From the feet, the strength of that grounding. Good, exhale, wrap your arms around the back of your knees. Once you're down, chest is resting on the thighs, then straighten your knees. Take another breath, bend into the knees. Push through your feet. Feel the grounding. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hold it here, Utthita Hastasana. Nice and tall. Really reach towards the ceiling. This time, hook your thumbs. Let me step back just a little more. Hook your thumbs, resist away with your thumbs, and come into a little mini back bend. So reaching towards the wall behind you, but keeping the core nice and strong. Navel comes to the spine. Find the breath. Good. Come back to center by drawing your navel in. Relax your arms down. Now from here, let's take the arms out to the sides. And we're going to inhale as the palms flip up. Exhale as the palms go down. Inhale. Exhale. Pull your navel to the spine. Inhale. Exhale. So a little bit of Kundalini yoga. Yoga with movement and breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. In and out your nostrils. Inhale. Exhale. Navel's coming into the spine as the palms come down as you exhale. Breathing in and out of your nostrils. Focus on the core center. Inhale, exhale. Stay with your breath. Strong core, pulling the navel to the spine. Inhale, exhale. In and out the nostrils. Good. Good. Last one. Go ahead and roll those shoulders up and back. Up towards your ears and then back down, and then roll your shoulders in the opposite direction. Release all the tension out of your neck and your shoulders. Good. Now from here, let's go ahead and step back to the front of the mat. And we're going to inhale the arms all the way up. Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, step your inner leg back, coming into a low lunge. And then from here, we're going to rotate out towards the screen and come into Parsvakonasana. Stay with your breath. Good. Breathe. Taking that top arm, take a bind with it and gently draw your top shoulder back. Nice. Now from here, go ahead and frame the front foot. Drop down to the back knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up and come into crescent lunge. Now you're pushing the hip points towards the wall in front of you. Stay with your breath here. Scoop up from the pelvic floor. Keep breathing, drop the shoulders down as you reach through your fingertips. Good, stay with the breath. From here, frame your hips. Walk your hands back as you flex your front foot. And then we'll just stretch over that front leg, however it works best for you. Whether you're just right here, you may have your hands on your waist and just come forward just slightly, or you might be able to reach your foot and draw yourself a little closer. Wherever you are, though, with this stretch, breathe in and out of the hamstrings. So you're trying to open up those hamstrings. Good, let's come back to a low lunge. Curl the back foot under. Bringing that front foot, coming back to that low lunge. And one more time, back to Parsvakonasana, sweeping the arm towards the screen up. Taking a bind again, gently draw your shoulder back. Good. Frame your front foot, and let's sweep the arms up into a high lunge. Stay with your breath here. From here, take your hands to your waist. We're going to hop up into a Warrior 3 balance onto that front foot. So wherever you are, you can keep your hands on your waist and hop up. Then the arms can shoot out in front of you if you find that balance. Good. Coming all the way back to your high lunge when you're finished. Coming back to a high lunge. Good. Forward fold, frame that front foot, and let's step to a plank position. Hold your plank. If plank is difficult, you need to come down to your forearms, then do so. From here, we're just going to take 3 half chaturangas. So half elbow bends. Keeping those elbows tucked into the side body. Good, then from here, exhale, down dog. Back to down dog. Good. Now let's look towards the fingertips at the front of the mat, and you can step or hop to the front of your mat. Forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, blow it out. Good. Now from here, go ahead and inhale, sweep your arms back up. Exhale, swan dive down. And then stepping the opposite leg back for a low lunge. From here, I'm planting my hand towards the screen down, sweeping the outer arm up for Parsvakonasana. Stay with your breath. From here, taking a bind. Keep breathing. Good. Framing that front foot. Go ahead and drop your knee down towards the mat. Then we'll come back to crescent lunge. Pushing those hip points forward towards the wall in front of you. Think about your pelvic floor lifting as you reach up through your fingertips. Find that center lift coming up through the crown of your head. Hip points are pushing forward. Good. From here, we'll come into our stretch for the hamstrings. So flexing that front foot up, Once again, if you're near a wall and you need to hold on to the wall, you can even stretch this way. And keep yourself a little higher. That works better for you, for your balance. If you have blocks, of course, you can use the blocks on either side of your hands, of your hips. Keep breathing. Breathe in and out of those hamstrings. Trying to allow those muscles to open up. Good, and then from here coming back, let's come back to our low lunge. And then we'll come into a high lunge, sweeping the arms all the way up. Stay with the breath. Good. And then back to your low lunge, because I left out the second Parsvakonasana. So go ahead and come back to that low lunge, sweeping your arm up towards the ceiling. Taking a bind here. Hold it. Good. Now frame your front foot and back to your high lunge. Pressing into the heel of your back foot. Taking your hands to your waist. From here, we're going to come into that warrior three balance again. So you want to feel grounded in your front foot. As you hop up, find your balance. And then once you found your balance, you can sweep those arms straight out. Finding your focus, your drishti. Keep breathing. Good. We're going to come back to high lunge. Whoops, when you finish that balance. Hold it here. Good. Release it. And come back to the front. You may want to get a little sip of water. I just have to grab some water. Be right back. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and come into a wide stance. And then from here, turn your toes in slightly. Go ahead and lift up the heart center. So lifting the heart center here and leading with your heart center, keeping the shoulders dropped down. Your thumbs are pressing towards your sacrum. Slowly come forward. Feet are wide, toes are turned in slightly. Slowly come forward. Let's go ahead and take the right hand down towards the mat and open up the left arm towards the ceiling. Now, if you have a block, your hand can be on the block. And just breathe here. You can take a bind here too. Take that arm around the back of the waist. Gently draw your shoulder back. Your top shoulder draws back. Stay with your breath. Good. Now let's go ahead and switch opposite arm to the center. Either to the floor or to a block or to a book if you have a book. If you need it, breathe here. Let's take that same bind, gently drawing your top shoulder back, opening it up, opening up the collarbone. Keep breathing. Good, and then coming back to center. So from here, we're going to go ahead and try to get a little lower. If you can possibly get your head down to the floor, then you're super flexible. But if not, don't worry about it. Just come down and just let the head drop between your legs, walking your hands back. And stay with your breath here. And of course, you can take your head to a block if you prefer that pressure to the third eye space. It may feel good to you. And breathe here for a moment. Remember your feet. You still want to press into your big toes. Feel connected through the feet, and then walk your hands out for a puppy dog stretch. So the hands come out wide, all the way out as your hips drop back behind you, towards the wall behind you. So the armpits are kind of suctioning down towards the mat. Stay with your breath. Good. Release it. Walk your hands back. And go ahead and heel toe in a little bit till you come down for your prayer squat. Find that spot that works best. With now your toes turned out. Knees are pressing out. Elbows inside the knees, preferably if you can. Some of you may have to rest your forearms on top of your thighs. I get that. If that's what you need, then do that. Lifting the pelvic floor, holding the pose. Great squats. Y'all are looking good. Keep breathing. They say squats, prayer squat, specifically squat like this, increases your lifespan, supposedly. Let's hope so. Good. And then from here, go ahead, straighten those legs up. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, blow it out your mouth. Let's take 2 more cleansing breaths. Inhaling through the nostrils as you sweep your arms up nice and strong. Exhaling and blowing it out the mouth. 2 more times. Inhale, sweep it up. Inhale through your nostrils. Exhale, blow it out your mouth. And then one more time. Those nice full breaths are increasing your lung capacity, making the lungs stronger. Good. Keeping the lungs from shrinking. So from here, we're just going to come into a little twisting movement. Inhaling to one side, exhaling to the other. Soft gaze. Soft gaze as you move, keeping those hip points straight ahead. Feeling the grounding through your feet. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in, breathe out. Good flexibility for the spine. Nice little twisting movement. Inhale, exhale. Keep that gaze soft. Good. Back to center. Good. Now from here, we're going to come down for a wide squat. Hold that wide squat with the knees pointing out towards the second toe. Good. And then from here, we're going to taking your left arm to the thigh, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling. And hold it here. Keep breathing. From here, where then you have the choice of sliding your hand down towards your ankle. Bottom hand down towards the ankle. If that works for you, if it doesn't work for you, keep it on the top of the thigh. Stay with your breath. Good. Coming all the way back to center. And then the opposite arm comes down to the thigh, reaching overhead. And then that choice of intensifying this pose, temple and goddess pose. Holding it here if you can, if not here for modification. Keep breathing. Good, come back to center. And sweep the arms back up. Inhale through your nostrils, exhale, blow it out your mouth. 2 more times. Fully inhale, all the way down to the belly. Exhale, blow it out your mouth. And then one more time. Fully inhale as you sweep your arms up. Exhale, blow it out your mouth. Good. Let's go ahead and come get some water again if you need it, and then let's come down to the mat onto your backs. Once you get onto the mat, hug your knees in towards your chest. So go ahead. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Good. Now let's continue to hug with shooting one leg out, coming into Ekapanasana. I need to fix something. Hang on a second. I'm getting a shadow. There. So hug your knee in that's closest to the screen. Keep breathing so you're pushing through the ball and heel of the opposite foot. Keep breathing, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Good. Now let's switch it to the other side. Pulling the opposite knee in, closest to your outer wall. And breathe. Find that breath. Let's go ahead and flex the foot on your straight leg. Push through the ball and heel of that leg. Very strong. Totally activating the straight leg. Relax your shoulders down. Good. Now from here, let's go ahead and go back to the other side and then drop your leg down towards the mat. And let's take a full spinal twist. Gently draw that knee across the body and come into a full spinal twist. Shooting your arm out to the side. I'm holding on to the top of my knee and guiding it across. Guiding it over towards the floor. And it can feel a little intense. If you want to just wrap your foot around the back of your knee, and that will help hold it up a little bit higher from being quite as deep of a twist. If you want to drop the foot down to the floor, that's fine. Some days I prefer to wrap my foot around the back of my knee, and then other days I like to drop it down. It just depends on how my spine is feeling. Find the breath to help you realign your spine as you hold this pose. Just allow the breath to go up and down your spine. Good, now coming back to center, let's pull the opposite knee in, drop your leg down towards the mat, and then guide it across to the other direction. Opposite arm reaches out to the side, palm down so that you open up your collarbone. Breathe here. So I've got my foot wrapped around the back of my knee. Again, on this side is just what I'm doing today for some reason. A lot of times I let it fall to the floor. It's more comfortable for me this way. So you have your options. Find your breath. Keep breathing. This is a great way to realign the spine. Good. Coming back to center. Then from here, let's go ahead and pull that right knee in. Reach the left arm overhead. And then switch. And let's start pedaling through the air. Or it's almost like you're climbing a mountain straight up, but you're on your back. And start paying attention to the navel coming to the spine as you move. Opposite arm, opposite knee comes in. Opposite arm goes back as the knee comes in. Inhale and then exhale. Breathe in and out of your navel center. Inhale, and then as you exhale, as the knee comes in, the navel comes to the spine. So you're really taking your focus to that third chakra, to the core. Breathe in, breathe out. Stay with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Keep breathing, working the core. Taking your focus to the core. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Good. Go ahead and hug those knees back in towards your chest. Take your legs straight up towards the ceiling, flex the feet, and if you can, grab your big toes with your peace sign fingers. If you can't reach and you feel more comfortable with a strap, and you have a strap or a scarf or a towel and you want to put it across the balls of your feet, then do that if that works better for you. Keep breathing. Stay with your stretch. Good. Now from here, let's take a few more breaths. Just let this stretch really happen today. This is really good for releasing any lower back pain too. So from here, now we'll come into Upavista Konasana, a nice wide-legged stretch. So take those legs all the way out to the sides, like a big wide V. If it's impossible to hold on to your toes, just grab wherever it works best for you. And the inner calves is a good spot to hold that steady stretch. So whatever feels best for you. Keep breathing out. Draw your shoulders down. Don't scrunch your shoulders up. Good. Now from here, let's go ahead and come into, no, actually, grab behind your knees. Let's go ahead and rock back up to sitting. And then we'll come into pigeon pose. We'll stretch the hip. But let's go to downward facing dog first. So come to all fours. Curl your toes under. Spread those fingers wide. Curl the toes under. Good. And then from here, go ahead and kick your outer leg up towards the ceiling. And then draw the knee towards the front of the mat as you plant it down up to the front of the mat for pigeon pose. Slowly come down, if you can, to your forearms. And let's just breathe here into the hip. You might end up being able to come a little bit lower if you can. Of course, you know whether you can or not. If you want to lay your chest all the way down to the floor, that's totally fine if you're that flexible. But just stay with the breath here. Excuse me. Allergies. And, you know, if you're a runner and you've been out running or doing something aerobic this morning, this hip stretch is really helpful. And just allow the breath to fill up that space that you're stretching. Keep breathing here. So if you want to, you can follow me to King Pigeon. So that's coming all the way up. And if you hold on to the front of your leg, that may help bring you up. And then if you want to, And you don't have to. You can come back down for a full pigeon if this is not your thing. But from here, if you want to grab that back foot, and you'll get a good stretch in the quad. If this is impossible, just not somewhere you want to go, this would be the modification. Lying on your side body, grabbing and stretching the quad this way. So I want you to choose which pose works best for you. You can even just go back to pigeon pose if you prefer. If you're in king pigeon, as a few of you are, you can then sweep your arm overhead and come into that balance. Good, release. And then from here, let's curl that back foot under and come back to downward facing dog. Good. Now, the opposite leg is going to kick up towards the ceiling and then draw your knee in and up towards the front of the mat to come into pigeon to the other side. Get yourself comfortable. Some of you may prefer to pop a block or a blanket or towel underneath your hip to have a place to rest the hip down to square it up. So that's another option. Keep breathing, allowing that stretch to happen, taking the breath in and out of the hip space. Stay with your breath. And if you find you need a little more lengthening in this pose, all you have to do is curl your back foot under and kind of creep yourself back a little bit more, and that will open up the front. Or if you're up on your hands, you can kind of just push back more, and that'll open up the hip up at the front a little bit more too. Stay with your breath. Okay, now from here, if you want to come up for a king pigeon, you don't have to, you can stay down. If you do, come on up. I'm going to remove this block. If you have a block, you can take your hand to it as you reach back for the ankle on the opposite foot, if you want to use a block. And then get your good quad stretch here. Or, let me show you the modification. Those of you who are here, stay here. Those of you who need to modify, come onto the side body and grab here to get a good stretch for your quad. So you've got two positions you can choose. So choose what honors your body. You want to come into the balance, sweep your arm up. Lift from your pelvic floor. Good. When you're finished, come back to downward facing dog. And piddle your feet out. Piddle your legs out. Inhale to plank. Drop to your knees. Upward facing dog. Hold it here. Good. And then press back to child's pose. Take your knees wide and come all the way back to child's pose and stretch it out. Stay with your breath. Good. Now from here, let's go ahead and grab our elbows. Line up your shoulders and your elbows. Bring the palms of your hands together. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up and back for dolphin pose. From here, we're going to walk out to a plank and hold our forearm plank. Stay with your breath here for a moment. Breathe in and out of your navel center. Breathing in and out of the core. You can lift and lower the hips slightly just to feel that. Muscling into your core center. As you exhale, let the breath flow. Good. From here, go ahead and drop down to your belly. Come into Sphinx pose. So you're on your forearms now. Tops of the feet are lightly touching down. Drop your chin towards your chest. And just let your head roll from shoulder to shoulder. Breathing in and out. Good, and then from here, go ahead and flip over back onto your back body. And let's come into Setu Bandha, half bridge pose. Coming all the way down. Tuck the shoulder blades under. Feel the grounding through your feet, arms down by your sides. And inhale those hip points up. Hold it here. Once you're here, you have the option of interlacing your hands up underneath your body. Stay with your breath. Keep breathing. Good. Slowly come back down one vertebrae at a time. Let's pop that leg closest to the screen up. Give it a nice stretch. And then while you're holding that leg in a good stretch, go ahead and rotate your ankle in one direction, spreading the toes wide, and then in the other direction. Good, nice stretch here. Let's stretch the opposite leg. Rotating in one direction, and then in the other. Good. From here, go ahead and take your hands behind your knees and gently pop yourself up to a seated position. And we'll come into Sukhasana. Go ahead and come into seated, cross-legged Sukhasana. Good. From here, let's go ahead and take our arms into a cactus shape. Inhale, the chest open. Exhale, bring the elbows and the hands together as you draw the navel to the spine. Inhale, exhale. Let's go ahead and take that breath again in and out of the core center. So breath and movement together. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale. In and out your nostrils, focusing on the navel, coming to the spine as you exhale. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in and out of the nasal passages. So really notice that air coming in and out of your nostrils as you move. Good, now hold it here. Locate those muscles across the upper back. Draw the shoulder blades towards the spine. Really feel that strength across your upper back. Good, pull the elbows back, maybe just a little more. Stay with your breath. Good, now the arms come out to the sides, and let's come into eagle arms. We're going to cross at the elbows, Wrap the hand in towards your fingers in towards your palm. Push those elbows up towards the ceiling. And stay with your breath. Keep breathing. Breathe into that space in your upper back. You should feel it nicely stretching open the upper back as you push those elbows up. Good, taking your arms out and then crossing opposite elbow on top, reach your fingertips in towards your palm, push those elbows up. If I need to modify, I would just hug here and drop my chin towards my chest and keep the spine nice and tall. This would be the modification. Stay with your breath. Breathe into that upper back space. Good, release it. Now let's take those shoulders up towards the ears and then down. Good, releasing any tension from your neck and your shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Good, last one. Now, from here, go ahead and grab your elbow and let's stretch the back of the arm. Stay with your breath. Breathe into that space. It should feel really good. You should feel a really nice stretch after doing a plank. And then take the opposite elbow back. Hold it here. You're still sitting really tall, pressing down through your sitting bones, lengthening up through the crown of your head. Nice strong body, nice tall spine. Good, release it, and then take your legs wide, all the way out to the sides. If you have a block and you want to take your head down to the block, so we're going to hinge forward, and you can take your hands behind you to help propel you forward if that feels better for your spine, and then just hold here. Or you can reach the hands out in front, get a little bit deeper, but you want to try and keep that back flat, nice and straight. You might make your way down to a block to your third eye space and just hold it here for a moment. If you don't have a block, you can even take your elbows down to the floor if you can reach down that low, and then press the thumbs into the third eye. And breathe in and out of that space of intuition and wisdom, stimulating your pituitary gland. Good. So wherever you are, just doing your best to get a good inner thigh stretch. Good, and then from here, let's go ahead and we're going to walk our hands over to one leg. I don't care which side you go to, just wherever you land. And you're getting a good stretch here. You may need a strap around the ball of your foot, and that's fine. You wanted to hold on to a strap. Breathe here. Walking your hands back to center, all the way around to the other side. And breathe. Really good stretch here. Good. Back to center. Walk your way all the way back up. And then from here, come on back down onto your backs. And we'll do a final pose before Shavasana. So I always like to give you that choice in the end. Some of you like doing a full back bend, that's fine. Some of you might want to do shoulder stand. Or if you have another pose, if you want to do a headstand, you have another pose that you just really want to do right now, then now's your time. I'm going to come into shoulder stand, but I'm going to show you a modified shoulder stand. You could also come back to Setu Bandha, half bridge pose. If you want to do a modified shoulder stand, in case anyone wants to do that, you would take your hip to the wall, swing your feet around, press your feet into the wall and push up. And this is a modified shoulder stand. Once you're here, you could then come all the way up, or you could just stay here. But whatever pose you choose, just be mindful with it. Take your time, wherever you are. Anyway, so this is a fun way to get into shoulder stand if you wanted to do that. Once you're finished with your pose, whatever it is, I've got a headstand going on behind me, which is really good. That's my husband. Hey, Scott. You can't see him because he's hiding. Another headstand in there. Good. And when you're finished, when you're finished with whatever you're doing, very beautiful headstand, I just saw that, or shoulder stand. Just go ahead and come into Shavasana. Come down onto your mat. Get yourself comfortable, or take your legs up the wall. But get yourself comfortable. I normally make this little bolster for myself out of my blanket. So I like to put my legs over a bolster. Come all the way down. And then once you're in Shavasana, go ahead and take 3 cleansing breaths. Inhale through your nostrils, exhale and blow it out your mouth as you relax your shoulders. And just stay there. Continue to allow the body to melt. I just want to change this music out. I'll be right back. Take your 3 cleansing breaths. Soften your facial muscles. Take a swallow to release your throat chakra. Relax your neck, your shoulders. Soften your arms. Soften your thighs, your knees, your calves, and your ankles, your feet. And just notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly as the air comes in and out of your nostrils. So those nice, full, soft breaths that guide you deeper into relaxation. Notice those breaths as they go in and out of your body. And as you're softening your body, go ahead and try to allow the mind to soften. And one way to help that sometimes is to just breathe in and out of the third eye, the space between your brows. So if you take your breath in and out of that space, it'll help you to soften the mind, soften your thoughts. Try not to cling to the thoughts. all those thousands of thoughts and just let them float by one, just observing them the way you would observe the clouds in the sky, just watching them pass through. Try not to associate with anything in particular, just being in the present moment, just you and your breath. Soften your thighs and your knees. Soften your feet and your hands. Now on your next inhalation, go ahead and just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Just notice that sensation for a moment. Just waking up your fingers, waking up your feet, your toes. And then gently draw your knees back and hug them into the chest, coming back to Uttanasana. You may want to rock on the spine just for a moment and just massage out your spine. Good, and then just let your knees fall all the way over to the side. Cradle your body there for a moment. And gently make your way back to sitting, coming back to Sukhasana. Bringing your hands together in Anjali Mudra, taking your thumbs towards your heart center. Sending love, light, peace, harmony, and health to ourselves and to the universe. Namaste.